Hi guys, I'm Tatum Montgomery, and today I want to talk about something that is honestly really important to me, and it's LGBTQ plus marginalization in Northern Nevada. Basically, my essay is all about how queer people in the Northern Nevada area, especially outside of Reno, still face tons of challenges just trying to exist. It's not always super obvious stuff either, like sometimes it's the quiet things like feeling unsafe at school or having to hide who you are at work. But to understand where all this comes from, you kind of have to look back. A long time ago, before colonization, indigenous people in this area actually respected people who didn't fit into traditional gender roles. But once Western culture and laws took over, that all changed. Being openly gay or trans became something people could get punished for, like arrested or fired, or even worse. And even worse stuff. And even though a lot has changed legally, that history still affects people now, obviously. Let's start with schools. I found a 2024 study that said almost 80% of LGBTQ plus students in Nevada have experienced discrimination at school. And that is from Chad Harry. That's a huge number, and it's not just students being mean, it's the teachers and staff not stepping in or not knowing how to help. And they should be, honestly, taught how to do that because they're the reasons why it's not being fixed. For a lot of queer kids, school isn't a safe place, and when you don't feel safe, it's hard to focus or even want to go at all, which isn't right. Healthcare is another big issue. A lot of LGBTQ plus people have to mentally prepare themselves before even going to the doctor. Like, what if they get misgendered or ask really personal questions that have nothing to do with either there? One article by Stephen Timmermans talked about how even though there are laws that are supposed to protect people, they don't always mean much in practice. Which means, like, that even though there's laws, like, people don't follow the rules and people don't really do much about it too, even when they're not followed. Especially in smaller towns, it's hard to find a doctor who actually gets it. I also talked to Antonio Muniz, who works at Portishead, and what he said stuck with me. He said it depends who's working that day. Some people are chill, but others make little comments or jokes. He told me he doesn't feel like he can be fully himself at work, and there's not really any support for LGBTQ plus employees. That kind of stuff adds up. It's not always outright hate, but it still makes you feel like you don't fully belong. Even though Nevada has anti-discrimination laws, a 2023 study by Williams Institute found that 47% of LGBTQ plus workers across the U.S. have experienced discrimination or harassment at work. And yeah, it's usually worse for trans people and people of color. And then there's the media. In a lot of towns of Northern Nevada, LGBTQ plus people are either completely left out or shown in really stereotypical ways, like the overly dramatic character, this tragic storyline, or just a side character with no really depth. When that's all you see, it's easy to start feeling like your identity doesn't matter, which isn't right. So what's the point of all this? Basically, we still have a long way to go. Yeah, there are laws and progress in some areas, but that doesn't always change the day-to-day experiences people have. Queer people in Northern Nevada still deal with silence, judgment, and just not being supported. But there is hope. There are amazing people and organizations trying to make things better. Support groups, safe spaces, small changes that make a big difference. And I think one of the most powerful things we can do is just listen and care. Because no one should have to hide who they are to feel safe, and no one should feel invincible just for being themselves. But yeah, thanks for listening.